The Tar Heels, seeded #1 in the East, will play on Sunday against the #2 seed in the East, the University of Cincinnati. And coming up on today's Dean Smith Show, we'll meet Tar Heel freshman Larry Davis and go to his home in Denmark, South Carolina, and we'll catch up with former Tar Heel Curtis Hunter, and we'll look at highlights of Carolina's 80-74 win over Arkansas. All of that today on the Dean Smith Show.
The Dean Smith Show is brought to you by First Union National Bank, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Food Lion, Eckerd, Red Roof Inns, Carolina Dodge Dealers, Campbell's Soup, Coca-Cola, and also by Slugs Restaurants. And now, here's your host, John Kilgo.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Dean Smith Show. From the Meadowlands coach, North Carolina on Friday night, an 80-74 winner over Arkansas.
I wish it was 90.
A great basketball game, Coach.
Well, we're happy to have won, and certainly against an excellent Arkansas team. I thought we did some good things, and particularly the last 2 minutes, we did the right things. And George Lynch coming up with that defense play on Shepard was just outstanding. But that's the kind of play you have to make in a one-game lost, you're out tournament.
Right.
And we did that, and I hope that today we can be ready against the Cincinnati team that is much like Arkansas. They're picked way ahead of them. They're the 2nd seed, and Arkansas was a 4th seed.
Coach, one thing that North Carolina did, I thought, amazingly well in the second half, especially only 3 turnovers against the Arkansas's defense.
And that, if somebody told me we could only have 3 turnovers in the second half, I'd say that was remarkable. And Derek Phelps deserves a great deal of credit on that. And yet we made him pay for pressing us a few times, and that helped us get some easy baskets. Still, we didn't get the ball to Eric enough, and we hope we can do that today.
And I know one of the keys, Coach, in the Arkansas victory was the offensive rebounding for North Carolina.
We had great offensive rebounding. We shouldn't miss that many shots. They were mostly good shots, but if we did miss, George Lynch was there. Brian Reese had a great rebounding game, as did Eric Montross.
Coach, one other thing really impressive among many things, you overcame a real hot shooting 3-point Arkansas team.
We did. McDaniel wasn't supposed to be that good. We knew Shepard could get it going, and of course Hawkins made one late. But the real guy they go to is Thurman, and we really tried to put pressure on him, and he didn't shoot quite as well. We played more zone than I thought we would going into the game. I didn't intend to do that, but it still helped us overall.
A great win for North Carolina over the Arkansas Razorbacks. We're going to come back and show you those highlights after this from First Union. Carolina against Arkansas on Friday night, the good 6-point win for North Carolina. And, Coach, going into that game, I thought that Arkansas had so many psychological advantages going into the game.
I did too, and usually with good athletes, to be told, hey, Carolina's going to kill you by reputable people is not a good thing for us. And still we were able to win, and I do think Arkansas gave it a great shot. Fortunately, we had enough to come back and stay with them, but it wasn't the best in the world psychologically.
Coach, you said after the game that you weren't real happy with the way North Carolina handled pressure early, but were real happy after about midway of the first half.
I think we kind of went to sleep a little bit, didn't do what we had intended to, or maybe the nerves of the tournament, the first few minutes against their pressure. But after that, we played very good press offense and made them pay for the few easy layups.
North Carolina 80, Arkansas 74. Let's take a look at those highlights right now. NCAA East Regional, North Carolina the top seed against Arkansas the 4th seed at the Meadowlands. Carolina basketball highlights brought to you by Gatorade. Arkansas applied so much pressure throughout the game. There you see Derek Phelps with one of his 7 assists to Eric Montross. The Tar Heels trail early in the ball game by as many as 11 points. There's George Lynch operating inside for 2 of his 23 points, 6-10. Carolina trails at that point. North Carolina looking for good shots against the Arkansas pressure. Phelps finds Donald Williams, who steps into it, and there a 3-pointer Donald had 22 points on the night and some big plays late in the game that you're going to see. There's a rebound by Phelps. He had 7 rebounds. Comes out on the break, throws it to Lynch. Lynch gets the basket. Carolina down 12-11 early. Now North Carolina's down 25-14, an 11-point Arkansas lead. Donald Williams drives to bring Carolina back a little bit to make a run. Now watch George Lynch step in front of this pass by Lynn. Going to make the interception. Takes it all the way for the dunk. 25-18, Arkansas by 7. The Tar Heels getting acclimated a little bit right now to the pressure that the Hogs put on them throughout the basketball game. Donald Williams is going to get the pass, steps into a three-pointer, knocks it down. Arkansas at that point 28-23. They've led the entire ball game up to this point. But watch George Lynch make just a great individual play. Misses it, gets one of his 10 rebounds, puts it back in. Then he made the foul shot, and we were tied at 28, the first tie of the basketball game. Down 31-38 at this point. Brian Reese goes baseline. That's a high percentage shot. 31-38. Now watch Eric Montross. Tar Heels rebound the basketball. Brian Reese to Phelps. Montross had 15 points, was very active on the inside. Donald Williams is going to take it in and miss it, in and out, but Montross follows. Arkansas leads 38-35. George Lynch, the senior. Look at the Carolina bench, so much into the game, and what great leadership from George Lynch throughout the basketball game. He just would not let North Carolina lose. He makes the play there, 40-37 on a good pass from Brian Reese. Arkansas by 3. North Carolina now is going to get another three-point basket from Donald Williams. That ties the game at 41. Arkansas leads 43-41 right here, but there's a pass to Montross from Reese on the break, and at halftime, the Tar Heels and the Razorback Hogs are tied at 45, and what an intense basketball game it was. North Carolina's Phelps rebounds a missed shot, handles the pressure to Eric Montross. Montross throws ahead to Reese. Reese penetrates, puts the shot up and in, 48-47. Reese had a spectacular second half for North Carolina. Pitch ahead to George Lynch after an Arkansas basket, and the Razorback Hogs lead 51-50. North Carolina now with a 1-point lead. Eric Montross, a turnaround on the baseline, 54-51, North Carolina. Watch the way the Tar Heels beat the pressure. Rodel to Derek Phelps for the layup, 58-55, North Carolina. The Tar Heels are going to make a little run right here. There's Donald Williams to Reese. He's up and in, off the glass, 62-56, North Carolina. Then George Lynch is going to get the ball in the lane. Coming up right here from Derek Phelps. George knocks in the 12-foot jumper. Carolina is up 64-58. North Carolina, as a matter of fact, took a 7-point lead. Arkansas called timeout and is tied right here at 69 when Brian Reese takes it all the way, 71-69. Big play. Shot clock running down. Watch Donald Williams. Spins, knocks it in, 75-71. North Carolina has a chance to really do something here. Pitch ahead to George Lynch. You see the clock, 1:32. Lynch is called for the offensive foul, and this ball game is still very much in question. Hawkins, three-point basket, covered. He knocks it in, 75-74. 51.7 seconds left. North Carolina coach Dean Smith draws up the play, and look at this play that he drew up. Lynch, back door to Donald Williams for the basket, 77-74, a huge play in the basketball game. We said Lynch wouldn't let his team lose. Look at this. Forces Shepard into a travel. North Carolina gets the ball back with only 23 seconds left, and look at that. The Tar Heels on the bench obviously anticipating this foul shot coming up by Donald Williams. Williams does not disappoint. He knocks it in, and North Carolina gets the win 80-74 to advance to the NCAA Final 8 against Cincinnati. North Carolina basketball highlights are brought to you by Gatorade. North Carolina's record after that win over Arkansas, 31-4 on the year. The Tar Heels in the NCAA Final 8. We're going to come back and meet a very interesting young man, Carolina freshman Larry Davis, and we're going to take you to Larry's home in Denmark, South Carolina. All of that comes up right after these messages.